We are live, and we got some early plays for you guys to pimp slap this weekend with some college football and some NFL. We each got our own college game. We each got our own NFL game. Then we have teaser time. I currently do not have a teaser this week just because none of the teams match my profile for that. But Mike does have a teaser at the moment, so we'll be definitely looking at that. But we'll quickly recap what we had last week. I think I went 1-2. So for whatever reason, I just can't get a rhythm going on the show. I had the Bills -2.5, which hit. Syracuse, a couple turnovers early kind of killed them there. And then the Packers killed my teaser last week because I had them +8. And they did not cover the 8 there on Thursday Night Football. So definitely not. No, I mean, it's a 1-2. It is what it is. But what did you do last week?
As in the same 1-2, I had Baltimore Ravens. A lot of guys were saying, "Oh, the Deshaun Watson spot here." But here's the thing about that Baltimore spot: Baltimore as a dog is not to be messed with. And if you were hinging at the last minute on Deshaun Watson, you were definitely looking at the wrong side from the get-go. That aside, I lost the Vegas and the teaser by a hook. What's funny about that, though, is we both were on opposite sides of that teaser. You had the Eagles at -2. They covered. I had Washington at +14.5, and they covered. So, we're kind of honing in on this thing here as we get moving forward. And we're all about trying to give you guys these early looks. And, we'll take our lumps as we go, but certainly the lines will matriculate and we will find our spots to move forward. So we're back. We're ready to roll. And we're doing it again. So I'm excited, man. Here's another fun card coming up. It's a busy weekend for me, but certainly want to make some time to get these plays out there for us.
Oh, yeah. We'll quickly touch on the chat, and then we'll get into the game. We only have one chat. Mel saying, guys, we have a wrong team favorite alert. Wazoo +3.5 over UCLA. I'm going to say not so fast, my friend. I have already taken the Bruins laying the 3.5 in that game.
Fast.
Not so fast, my friends. No, because this is I think I had it at around a 4.5 that game, but it also falls into that category of a home ranked favorite or an unranked home favorite versus a ranked road dog, where you fade the ranked road dog, and it hits at a really high clip as well. But for me, it's also value on the line. I think UCLA is a much better team. No, I'm on the opposite side there. I apologize, Mel.
Sorry in advance, Mel, but let's go.
Yeah.
We'll keep
one
rolling.
Saying, what's up, guys? Saying, oh, no. It's all good. It's all good.
It's early. We're gonna
I'm far from perfect, so it is okay to disagree with me there. But we'll get into the games now. We both are touching on 2 big games this weekend. You got the Alabama game here. I got the Red River rivalry or the Red River Showdown, whatever they want to call it these days. But we'll start it off with you here. Alabama, they are 1.5 point favorites now in this game, total 46.5. They're in College Station, taking on the Aggies. What's your thoughts on this game? I think I agree with you on this one.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is a big showdown here, right? So it's not the Red River Showdown or the Red River rivalry, but it is Alabama, Texas A&M, and this is a huge matchup for this weekend's card. Alabama's kind of been reeling. They haven't been able to get the gunslingers rolling yet. They're still trying to figure out their quarterback situation. But Texas A&M, they're not world beaters either. So I'm going to lean to Bama, and I'm going to go put safe and take this Alabama money line. Alabama as a small favorite, 2.5 points in this game against Texas A&M. It's just the second time in 15 years Alabama's been in this kind of position, and they are 5-1 when they face the challenge. I'm not going to lay the points. I don't want to mess with the 2.5. I feel like this could certainly even be an overtime game where Alabama prevails. And I'm going to go put safe. I'm going to take Alabama. I'm going to take the Nick Sabans out there to get this job done. The Alabama Crimson Tide, it's a modest -125. Here's the thing. When you look at these numbers and you look at this 6-game sample with Alabama, when they're sitting there less than a -3 favorite, it goes all the way back to 2009. And their margin of victory is almost 16 points. So for me, I'm looking at it saying I'll take the minus 125. I love the margin on their side. I think Sabins are going to come out here, get the job done. But again, it's a rivalry game. I think it's a spot where we're just looking to get this win, and I'm going to take Alabama at the minus 125 on the money line.
Yeah, I'm on the same page here in this one. I also grabbed the over in this game as well. I got a terrible line for the over. I got it at 49 earlier in the week. It's down to a 46.5. Definitely not very happy about that. But one thing I've noticed with this Alabama Crimson Tide team is they really started the season off slow. Obviously, they kicked the crap out of Middle Tennessee like they were supposed to, but then they lost to Texas, and then they played a close game against USF. Well, close for their standards. It was still a 14-point game, but they were scratching and clawing, and I think it was a one-score game heading into the fourth or something along those lines. So I think that their slow start is giving us good numbers to back Alabama. They covered 2 in a row now since that poor game against USF. And I had this game more like a 6. I don't understand the love for the Aggies in this spot here. The Aggies have looked decent so far this season, but the one time they played an offense anywhere close to what Alabama has, they gave up 48 points to Miami. So I think this is a spot where Alabama is going to get theirs. And I know people are going to look at this game thinking that, Alabama's only 1.5 point favorites here as a ranked team against an unranked Texas A&M. Texas A&M's at home, and they've given them fits before. So I think that people are giving a little bit too much love here to the Aggies. This line should be way higher. I'm going to take where I see value on the line, and if I'm falling in a trap, so be it. But we'll move on to my college game, and then we'll go back to the chat and touch on some comments there. I got the Red River Showdown in this one here. The Oklahoma Sooners and the Texas Longhorns. Now, this is being played at the Cotton Bowl. I believe that's at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. So, obviously, still a little bit of a home field advantage for the Texas Longhorns, but technically not at UT for this game. And my numbers had this game way closer, and I even gave Texas the home field advantage in this game. When I capped this, I gave Texas the home field edge, which is like the 2 points on the index, and it still punched out Texas minus 1.5 should be the line in this game. I'm on the Boomer Sooners here in this spot. I also took a little spot on the over in this game as well. But this Oklahoma Sooners team, I think, is the best team in the Big 12. I do think when we look at, for my power rankings on that, I have Oklahoma higher than I do Texas. So getting this many points, I'm very intrigued in the Sooners in this spot, and plus 205 as well. It's a little sprinkle on that money line because, with my underdogs, if they offer a money line, I take it. I'm a psychopath like that. But doing that led me to cash a nice plus 360 last week with West Virginia, plus 335 with Baylor, plus 750 with Bowling Green. So I'm a psychopath. I take big money lines. This is not a huge money line, only 205 compared to some other big ones I have bet this week. But little Boomer Sooner action here. A little bit towards I also have a small play on the over in this game as well. But Boomer Sooner for me here.
Man, this is one of the best rivalries in college football. Say what you will, and you can go back and you can debate some of the greats across time. But this is just one of those spots where two teams come in, they genuinely hate each other. You recruit, Texas guys come in from Oklahoma guys come in from Texas. It's just a great spot where these guys grow up together. They're playing peewee football together. They're playing high school football against each other. They're playing now in the collegiate ranks against each other. It's going to be the best of the best in this kind of little, South Middle Western challenge. And a lot of fun. Texas opened up at minus 5.5. They're now minus 6. You see 6.5s out there as well. But all the cash is pouring in on Texas. And I just kind of feel like, to your point, Nick, it's an overstatement here. This is a situation where we're just under a touchdown spot. And a lot of these games come down to that last drive at the end of the game. So it's a 12 o'clock showdown. It's going to be early out there in Texas. But I love it. I love the spot. I love the game. I'm going to do my best to sneak some spots in with what I'm doing this weekend here, but this is going to be one of the games that's on my radar. I like that Oklahoma spot. It wouldn't surprise me to see Texas come out and get the job done, but just as a fan of the rivalry, I like watching Oklahoma get come out here and at least try to cover this spread here. Oklahoma's 5-0, Texas is 5-0. You could not ask for a better battle. Yeah, the Cotton Bowl. I'll give the little bit of the edge to Texas in that situation, but if you look at some of these games, I mean, these guys are playing competitive games with, divisional and non-divisional foes. Should be a lot of fun to watch here. I'm going to take the points with you. I like that Oklahoma Sooner spot.
There you go. We'll get into NFL in just a second. One comment here from Mel. Guys, a serious question. Are the Brewers the most fraudulent team in these playoffs? I'm going to say, did you see what the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays did? At least the Brewers had leads in these games. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to give it to Tampa. I will say the most fraudulent team, unfortunately, I had futures on, was the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't even know how the hell they got into the playoffs. I probably Seattle would have been a watch in that series going up against Texas. And also a little score update. JT Real Muto makes it 3-0 Phillies with a nice little fill of Jack there.
Red October, baby. It's Red October.
So we're on pace right now to have no baseball tomorrow. Because we're on pace for all four series to finish in 2 games.
And there's no baseball on Friday, right? So we're going to get a couple extra days going into the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, what the hell are we going to do? Thursday night football, and then probably a couple of the college games then for the show tomorrow. It's going to be a 15-minute USB show, guys, tomorrow. I'm probably
season hockey is right around the corner. I mean, you can't.
Regular season hockey is 6 days away,
there
and maybe we might throw some NHL hockey picks into the show as well. Maybe, but we'll get into the NFL here. So we had some Saturday action. I'm going to touch on some Sunday action, but we got some Monday action here from Mike. I don't think we've had a Monday night game. We've had a Thursday night game. We've had a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday. I don't think we've had a Monday game on the show yet. The Green Bay Packers are traveling to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Total 44.5 in this game. We have the Packers coming in off of that Thursday night debacle. They got extra rest here, exactly what the Giants had last week. We saw what the Giants did. We'll talk about that team next. With that extra rest, do the Packers take advantage of this extra rest here that they'll have heading into this game, extra time to prepare for these Raiders?
So it's an interesting spot. I like this Monday night game, and shout out to you, Nick. Your primetime unders. You've been riding the wave and you've been reaping the benefits. So my hat's off. I don't wear a hat, but if I did, it would certainly be off to you here. I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking we've got the Green Bay Packers off a loss to Detroit. It was a huge divisional matchup. They lost 34-20. They got beat down. They barely beat the Saints. They lost to the Falcons by 1. And they beat Chicago. Chicago's back on the uptick. But I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look at the Raiders. We got the Raiders coming off a loss. They're coming off of 3 losses in a row. They got beat down by Buffalo. They lost by 5 to Pittsburgh as a 3-point favorite. And then they got slapped around a little bit. They almost covered against those Chargers. But I got to feel like in this situation, Green Bay is just an overrated team. Jordan Love's got a lot to prove. And, for what it's worth, I think Jacobs there, Josh Jacobs, a ground and pound specialist if there ever was one. This guy can chew that clock up. And kind of the way I look at the game script for this game is he's going to go out there. They're going to give him the ball on the ground. He's going to have over 100 rushing yards. He's going to have probably 20 attempts on the ground. And that's going to keep the ball out of those Green Bay Packer hands. So if you're keeping the ball out of Green Bay's hands, what happens now is when they have limited time, they've got to go back to Jordan Love to get the job done. I know after the first couple of weeks of the season, everyone was saying he's going to be the NFL Offensive Player of the Year, but he's got to get out in front of Jalen Hurts. We know that's not going to happen. And in this case here, I do feel like it's going to be a situation where the Raiders take over the ball on the ground. I'm going to take that money line. It's even money right now for me to get Las Vegas at home on Monday night primetime. Jordan Love under the lights is going to have to throw this ball for his dear life. And I'm going to take them Raiders to get this job done here. Give me those Raiders. Give me a big game out of Josh Jacobs. And I think it's a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that I don't think I'm particularly interested in the side. I actually have this game more like a 2.5, 3 range. I'm going to actually lean the opposite way here just on my just where my numbers are, I would lean more towards the Packers, laying the small $1.20 or the 1 point in this game. But you guys already know where I'm going to go for this game. It's going to be the first half full game under. We're going to continue riding it with those primetime unders, but that's beyond the point. But yeah, that's where I'm going to continue to ride with this game, with a small lean towards those Packers for me in this one. Yes, I got to address this team. Yes, it's painful. Yes, I have to. Yeah, I'm gonna, and I purposely chose this game, especially after they played last night. This line, I think before Monday night, this was a 9.5. This now to 11 with the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins obviously last week coming in off of a 28-point loss against those Buffalo Bills. So I'm going to listen to everybody tell me they have to bounce back this week. There's no way they don't. But when we look at this Miami Dolphins defense, it's banged up right now. And they're also missing a couple of offensive linemen. Tariq Armstead, I believe, is going to be out for this game. They're missing a couple guys in the secondary. Obviously, we still got Ramsey out. We still got they got another player got hurt last week for them as well in that secondary. As you can see, they struggled to slow down that Buffalo offense. They just struggled to tackle anybody. And for whatever reason, a defense that just gave up 48 points, people are relying on them to cover double digits here. And not only people, the New York Giants are the lowest bet team this weekend. If you look at action right now, and look at the percentage of spread tickets so far, there is no team with more tickets on them than these Miami Dolphins so far this season. So there's approximately a 0% chance that I ever land on the Miami Dolphins in this game. Also, my projected number for this game is an 8.5. So I saw a little bit of value with the Giants here at the 9.5 pre-Monday Night Football number. And here's what I'm going to say in this game. I'm going to take the Giants getting the points in this one here. I think that this is a spot where we've seen them play. Obviously, they had to play two road games back to back, but I feel like they play better on the road than they do at home. So it's not like playing at home is that big of an advantage for the Giants right now. And I'll let everybody continue to tell me that the Dolphins have to bounce back, but I think this is a good spot for a backdoor cover for the Giants. And I'm going to say wait. I'm going to let the public continue to hammer these Dolphins because we see like 90% of the tickets are on them right now. I think this is going to be a 12 and a half, maybe a 13 by game time. I'm going to wait until Sunday morning and then grab the Giants with as many points as I possibly can. And I'm also, this one's going to sound, I'm also leaning towards the Dolphins team total under at 30 and a half. I think that number is way too high, and I get it. That's a dynamic offense for these Miami Dolphins. But I think that this Giants team can slow them down a little bit potentially on defense. So I'm going to say wait to take as many points as you can. I'm leaning towards the Giants at the moment here. I know this is your favorite.
You know, my feeling on the Giants, my disposition. I finally broken the streak of losing with the Giants. I caught a big win the other night with those Seahawks, and it's a tough spot, man. I honestly don't know where I'm going to go with this game because I'm a Bills fan by nature, and it's hard for me to. I don't want to lay 11. I do think it's a bounce back spot. I might look to the first half for the Dolphins in this game. And then maybe the Giants come in there, to your point, with that backdoor cover to get the job done. So that's a tricky spot for me. I just, you guys know I can't get right with these Giants. I did the other night. I was excited about that spot, but I gotta bite my knuckle and see if we can't find a way to get this first half cover.
There you go. Mel saying for whatever reason, the reason is that the Giants are completely incompetent, dysfunctional, and demoralized.
They suck. They suck.
Yeah, but one side I definitely do not want to be on is laying double digits with a extremely public double-digit favorite. So
I'm with you there. I feel
the most public spot of the week does not appeal to me.
No.
So I will never end up on a play like that. I will promise you that for as long as ESB is run. Especially in the NFL. But it is teaser time. I do not have one at the moment. Now, when I do my teasers, obviously, I've explained this many times before. I'm looking for specific numbers. And there are 2 underdogs that fit that range, and there are no favorites. As the only favorites of more than 5.5 points are 10 and 11 point favorites. So, and the 2 dogs that fit into it, I lean towards one, and I'm going to bet against the other. So the one's the Texans, which you can tease them up to 7.5. I'm going to be on the Falcons in that game, so I'm not going to be betting that. And the other one would be the Colts. So the only teaser right now, just based on my qualifications alone, that qualifies for it is Colts and Texans. I'm not playing it because I like the Falcons in that game against the Texans. So I currently do not have a teaser at the moment.
Well, I do, and I'm going to give a little look here for us. NFL specific. I'm going to hone in on this Sunday NFL spot, and the team I got to look at to start my teaser off is those Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers are 9-0 overall, 9-0 against the spread when they're coming off a 20-point or greater loss. It's 4-0 their last 2 seasons as well. Mike Tomlin knows how to battle back and find a way to get these boys moving in the right direction. I do like those Ravens a lot. I as much as they've had some injuries they battled through. They're starting to get their roster healthy, but I got to look at that 9-0 and Mike Tomlin's ability to coach these boys up. Right now, I saw the number was +4. I'm going to take the Steelers at +10 in the first leg of this teaser. We're looking at a situation where we've got a divisional rivalry. Obviously, a big game here. Do I think the Steelers are going to get blown out against the Ravens? No, I think they're going to at least find a way to keep it competitive. They'll find a way to keep it within a score. I don't know if they get the job done at the end overall outright. I do feel like the Ravens are primed for this victory, but I do like where I see this Pittsburgh Steelers spot, especially with the Mike Tomlin bounce back numbers after a blowout. This guy just comes in there, slaps the guy's open palm right in the face and says, get your ass back in the game. We're going to find a way to get this next one. And he bounces back year over year. So I like that Steelers +10 to start this thing off. The second leg that I looked at for this game here was that Falcons-Texans game. CJ Stroud has been killing it out there right now. I mean, this guy, unbelievable with the Texans. His last 3 games with the Texans, he scored 30, 37, and 20. And why I like the over in this game is, first and foremost, I'm getting a number at 35 as the teaser total that I got on this thing here. And the Falcons are coming off of back-to-back road games. So it's an opportunity for some home cooking. Get it right. CJ Stroud's been firing. Again, 30, 37, and 20 his last 3 games. He's going, in a situation against the Falcons, coming back from back-to-back road games, and you're giving me a 35. I got the Steelers +10 and the Falcons game over 35. That's going to be my 2-game teaser here in the NFL. That's my 3-pack. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah. By the way, the back-to-back road games, the second road game for the Falcons was played in London. So that was still away from Atlanta, but it was a neutral site game in that one. I like the Atlanta Falcons in that game, and I know that's probably going to be very unpopular. Everybody sees how bad Desmond Ridder and that offense has looked so far, and everybody's loving the way this Texans team is looking, and I don't blame them. They're coming in off of their biggest win in a very long time, and that's when I want to sell high on these Houston Texans. And when I look at this game for that Texans game, I'm actually leaning a little bit towards the Texans team total under in this game as well. I think Atlanta is going to control the time of possession in this game, running the ball with Bijan Robinson, because one thing we've noticed with the Texans that is one of their weak spots is their run defense. So I do think that the Falcons are going to try to control it on the ground with the running game and be able to do it that way. So I actually kind of lean towards the under in that game if I had to bet the total, because I think that this could be an absolute slugfest where the Falcons are having these 7-8 minute 12-play drives because they are running the ball down the throat of the Texans. So that was kind of where I was looking at for that one. And I can see the +10. I like the Ravens slaying the points in that game a little bit as well. I had the game around a 6 though, so or a 5.5, 6. So I see just value in that number. Obviously 10. That's not a bad number with the Steelers, especially in that competitive a game. I could see something along the lines of 17-10. Ravens win that game, so that was kind of where I was looking at for that one. But yeah, so kind of disagree on a little bit there, but I mean the teaser can still hit. My plays that I like in these games hit as well. So kind of leaning opposite ways there, but they're teasers. So I still think there's opportunity for middles there.
Yeah, I think we agree on kind of the consensus with the sides, but again, he put those points on that favor or the totals, and it's anybody's game. So we do appreciate everybody dropping in here. We wanted to give you guys some early pays to PimpSlap. It's Wednesday night. It's almost 9:30. You know, our goal in and out, give you guys 5-6 looks to go out there and find some spots to cash with here. And we expect some victory this weekend. It's victory weekend. And we appreciate everybody dropping in. You guys make sure you hit that like and retweet. It's most important to get the word out there. We've been growing in followership, and we appreciate you guys doing your share to help us get there. So hopefully we can cash together. Nick, what do you got?
Yeah, recap, and we'll head over to the chat, and then we'll recap, and then we'll head on out here. Gerardo saying sup. Bet this guy saying go, and good old Sharpie saying I let you both bang my baby mamas at the same time.
All right, well,
comment of the day.
yeah.
But
shout out to Sharpie. Appreciate you, Sharpie.
Yep, but we'll quickly recap our plays, and then we will head on out for this one. I am rolling with the Oklahoma Sooners plus 6.5 and plus 205 against these Texas Longhorns. And I'm looking at the Giants, but I'm not betting it now. I am waiting, because I know the public is going to bet that game higher and higher for me to get a better price with those New York Giants.
Yeah, I think you might get to 12. You might get to 12 by the time it's all said and done. I got the Crimson Tide. Let's go, Bama. The Nick Sabans are ready to roll. I'm taking Nick Saban. I'm going with the Vegas Raiders. The Raiders to get it done here against an overrated Green Bay Jordan Love team. Shout out to our guy, Razor Sharp Picks. And I'm going to go with the teaser. I got Pittsburgh plus 10, Atlanta over 35 to close this card out for the weekend here. We hope you guys all find success. We want to find success. I want to find success. Nobody's bankroll matters more than my own. But again, make sure you guys hit that like and retweet. Let them know we're out here doing this for you guys every week. Let's go, baby.
Yep. But until then, good luck, and we'll catch you next time. Next Wednesday, same time, same place, with some early plays to PimpSlap.